Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about extenders 1.4 and 2 times, primarily from Canon. Now, this is a video that has come out from people requesting videos and asking for certain things, and I thought it would probably be a good idea to talk about them anyway. So these extenders I've got here, I've got the 1.4 extender Mark II and the 2 times EF extender Mark II. I do not have the Mark IIIs. I personally have had no need to so far change. The major differences, as far as I'm aware, people say they've got waterproofing on them, but I'm pretty sure looking at these also have waterproofing on too, so that's not a good enough reason for me to change. But they do have better compatibility with the newer range of EF lenses if you have got those, and they are ever so slightly sharper than these, but they do cost about 3 times as much as the Mark IIs, which is why I only run the Mark IIs at the moment. But as I say, as an endorsement, I've not had the need or felt the need to have to change to the Mark IIIs yet, and I will show you that in the photos we're going to look at in a minute. We're going to look at 3 photos taken with the 1.4 and 3 taken with the ×2, and then I'll tell you my overall thoughts of using extenders on lenses. So the first 3 images we're going to look at here are taken on various cameras, various lenses, but all with the 1.4 times converter. So this here is taken at 540mm using a 400mm with a 1.4 converter, and you can see this is also on my R6. So we've got eye tracking on here, and we've locked on the eye of this baby chimp here, and you just see the detail there is absolutely amazing. Even on the feet, the feet are the same level as the even on the hand as well as the eyes, so they're perfectly in focus, perfectly sharp. The details, the colours, especially in the eyes, it's got a motion here where this chimp is staring straight at me, and it's a really nice, sharp, colourful and pretty powerful image. Next one here is taken in golden hour. This is a Whitnall 1DX Mark II with 500mm and the 1.4 converter, and I've just got this Whitnall here, just scraping the top layers of the bush just while hunting. So you got that golden hour, so you got that light shining through the feathers, backlighting the bird very nicely there. But the detail again, it says this is with the 1.4, and it's just as sharp really as it would be with the 500mm, so no issues there at all. Next one here is a bit of a photo of a dozy tiger from my local zoo, but again this was taken with the 300mm with the 1.4, and got no eyes track or anything like that at all. It's just straight on the face, tongue out, just a very fun image. But colours look great, tongue, nose, every frontal part of the face there is really nicely in focus. The background is nicely separated out there as well, and again, yeah, really nice image on the 1.4. Now the next group of images here are all taken with the ×2 converter. This is the 300mm. I was quite lucky. This painted dog, hunting dog, whatever you want to call them, was coming towards me. This is with the R6. Eye tracking is on the 300mm ×2 converter, so 600mm at 5.6, which is why so much of the face is in focus. But even at that 5.6, the nose is starting to become a little bit out of focus, so it draws you into the eyes. But even though it's quite a bright day, you can see by the ears where you got that difference in colour profile. Is still a very, very sharp image, especially the eyes there. We've got the fur, the detail in the fur is really, really nice, and just a really great, powerful image. Now this one here, I love this image. The orangutan babies are always one of my favourite to photograph, but this is taken again on the 300mm, but with my 1DX Mark II ×2 converter. I had this little guy cheekily kind of trying to hide from his mum, playing with a bit of stick it's found here, but it's also wrapped himself up in a bag, just a bit of extra warmth and protection. But got the eyes locked on nicely there. Colours are amazing. This is sort of towards the end of the day, so you got a bit more of that golden light on the coming through the left hand side from the enclosure, and it's just brightened up the image quite nicely on that left hand side. And just again, times 2 converter, modern camera, a really nice sharp image. And the final image here, again at 300mm, the times 2 converter I tend to use mainly with the 300mm, just because then a nice hand-holdable 600mm when I want to take photos and have a walk around lens. But this is a Lima looking straight at me, 600mm f5.6 1DX Mark II, and the detail is absolutely incredible. The colours in the eyes, the way you're drawn into the face, just because everything behind the face being at 5.6 is out of focus. The separation to then the background behind that even as well. You've got the bokeh balls on the greenery behind, but just you're drawn in straight into that face, and it's such an I love this image. It's just a really nice image. It does show you the the full capability of the times 2 converter on an older lens like the 300mm and with the 1DX Mark II. So, as you can see from the images we've just looked at from both of these two converters on a variety of different lenses, I've used those photos come from everything from my 300mm, one of them I think is taken on my 70-200 Mark I with the times 2 converter. You've got stuff on the 500mm, you know, there's a big array there, and taken on different camera bodies too, not only on my 1DX Mark II, the 1DX Mark I, there's stuff taken with the R3, the R6, so you've got a good variety there of stuff taken on both mirrorless and non-mirrorless cameras, and using then obviously the adapter when you're using mirrorless to the EF system like this. Now, I personally don't ever see there being an issue with using one of these, as long as you keep the glass clean on here, you keep the glass clean in your lens, and you keep your camera clean. You are always going to produce a sharp image. It's not going to be quite as sharp, for sure, as if you didn't use this, because you are adding more layers of glass between the camera and the lens itself. But it's not to a point where you're better off cropping down to what you get. So for example, when I'm using my 500mm and if I wanted to use a 2x converter, I would get a sharper image using the converter than I would cropping it down to be 1000mm equivalent post photo. So I definitely have no problems at all using these. I do find I get better results with the 1.4 than I do the times 2. That's purely because it is a shorter amount of distance, an extra glass there. You're going to be creating less disturbance to what the camera and lens can do. So when I'm taking the AL photos with the 500mm, I always use a 1.4 converter to get myself to that 700mm on a full frame camera. I'd love to give it a go. I might take out the 1.3 times crop on the 1D Mark IV and see what I get more around that 800mm range. But you can see from the images you're still getting a very sharp, usable photo. And I bet if you showed those photos that I've taken, that you'll take as well, to someone and didn't tell them you're using an extender, they wouldn't be able to guess that you're using an extender on them. Some of those photos are so sharp that, you know, especially the monkey who's looking at you, the eyes and the lemur and everything like that, the eyes are pin sharp. They're as sharp as they're going to get. You know, that was taken, the lean one was taken on 1DX Mark II with my 300mm with this times 2 converter on. And it is a pin sharp photo on the eyes and exactly what you'd want from a photo like that. So again, I don't see an issue with it. Some people have major issues with using extenders and think you should also be using the Mark IIIs, and everything below that is not good enough. I use the Mark IIs. I wouldn't use the Mark Is just because of compatibility. They have a very small amount of compatibility, and they do not have the weather sealing as well. The Mark IIs are compatible with pretty much most things I've used. I've not come across a lens yet these aren't working with, so I have no problems with them at all. There is a compatibility list on Canon's website if you are ever thinking about it and go, oh, will this work with that? I've used these with my 200-400, which has the inbuilt 1.4 converter, and had no problems at all. And the only thing I found is if I had the ×2 and I use a 1.4 converter, I lose autofocus. So I'm not sure if that's something I'd gain back with having a Mark III, but the situations where I'd use that are very slim and only really when I'm taking photos of the moon or anything like that at all, astro-wise. So I can use manual focus for that, it doesn't matter at all to me. But I hope you found this video useful. Hope you're enjoying the content you're seeing on the channel. Anything you want to see come up on the channel, please by all means let me know in the comments section. As I say, this video came along because of someone requesting it in the comments section below. I do not mind if people ask to see certain things happen. I don't mind if I have the ability to and I have the equipment in making those things happen. So drop a comment and I will catch you in the next one. Have a good one. See you again soon. Goodbye.